All right, members of the Barrio, welcome to our Brooklyn apartment. Got Adriana joining me for a bit of this live chat, and just wanted to say welcome. Thank you for taking the time to join us on this. Was it Tuesday? It's Tuesday.
I think so.
We lose track of the days of the week a lot. You know, I haven't done one of these live streams in probably, I think, 5 months. It's been since July, so
Yeah, we were in their apartment, and we've been here for like a month, so it's been a while.
So first thing I want to do is I want to know where you guys are watching from. Like, tell me in the comments. I'm very curious. And obviously I want to make sure that everything is working as far as like the sound. So let me know the sound is working. Picture looks clear. Richard in Vancouver,
Germany.
holding down the fort. What's up, Sean?
Ireland.
Yeah, we have a lot of Europeans watching, and that's actually one of the reasons I did 3 o'clock, because I knew that if I would probably prefer to do it in the evening, but the issue is the Europeans would be sleeping. I know we have a huge European audience, so I decided on
Turkey.
Turkey, all right. Puerto Rico.
Florida. Toronto. Scotland. I have my phone here, guys. I'm reading the comments because I can't see. So don't think that I'm being disrespectful.
We also have Americans, New Yorkers, Zanzibar. Wow, Africa. We've got
Netherlands, Russia, Costa Rica.
This is what's great.
Yeah, San Francisco.
This is what's great about having a channel that really focuses a lot on New York City. I think it's that we get such an international audience. Like, we get people watching from all over the world.
Texas, Italy. Wow.
Yeah, it's insane. And unfortunately, I think for the time, Asia is mostly sleeping right now, so we really won't be able to get too much of like an Asian crowd, I imagine, like Southeast Asia. Or maybe occasionally I've seen people watching from Korea, Japan, but I don't know if they're going to be able to join us for this. Connecticut, Saudi Arabia, wow. $5 for the pretty lady from Wreck-It Ralph.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for your super chat. Much appreciated, of course. And look, we got about 121 people. We've only been going for 2. Oh, someone from Shanghai. Okay, so I don't know what time it is in Shanghai. I recognize a bunch of the names. I see Queens, Jim from Pittsburgh. How are you?
Hey.
Oh, we have plenty of time to chat, and you know, when I do these live streams, I don't normally have an agenda. I'd rather see what you guys want to talk about or any topics that pop up. Mr. Evan Doyle, what's up from Clinton Hill? You know, I just like to be relaxed with these live chats. We were doing them a lot more when we were in quarantine. You know, now I honestly prefer doing regular content a bit more. I want to do real videos. Not to say that live streams aren't real content, because there's some great live streamers in New York, but I always preferred just doing edited stuff. But this is nice. It's cool just to be able to interact with you a little bit more in the real-time sense. Got someone from Jersey. My goodness, 3rd Street between Thompson and Sullivan. I used to live right by there. We lived on Sullivan between Bleecker and Houston.
Yeah.
Do you miss Manhattan?
No.
I actually think that this week...
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you for $5, Tony. Look who's blogging. Appreciate the super chat. I think this is actually the first week that I'm beginning to... I don't want to say miss Manhattan, but I think that the honeymoon period of moving to Brooklyn is wearing off, where every day I go outside and I'm like, oh, we're going to explore. Now it's more settling in. This is our life. This is where we live. And I like it here. But I do think back to Manhattan, and I do miss some of the things I'm familiar with, which I'm sure is normal. But you seem to just really be loving Brooklyn like crazy.
Yeah, I love Brooklyn. I think Manhattan was too crazy for me. This is better.
You're saying you feel less anxious here in
Yeah,
general.
definitely. I think the speed of life in Brooklyn is very different from Manhattan.
Yeah, we're actually getting a bunch of questions about the apartment, like how you guys liking it so far? Have you settled in? What would you say to that? My opinion is I love this new apartment. There's not a lot I don't like about it. We're on the 2nd floor. We have so much more space. We're very central to the subway, to restaurants, to things to do. There's very little I don't like about it. The only thing that's been a little bit of a struggle is you guys can kind of see that hallway door there. We've had a little fight with that door. We've had to reinforce underneath it. We had to put a little like ceiling tape there just because hearing people walking through the hallway, that was a bit of an adjustment because we lived in what I like to call a bomb shelter in Manhattan. I mean, It
Hey,
was
Matt.
so quiet in there, so we had to adjust to some noise issues here, but I think we set the apartment up in a good way. What do you think so far about the apartment?
The apartment is, of course, my favorite part. I think we did a great job and fast because I unpacked everything really fast.
Yeah.
I at the beginning I felt like I was living in an Airbnb, and now it finally feels like home.
Yeah, I mean, it's starting to feel like home. I talked to some people and they told me that they think that it takes a couple of months to really adjust to a new apartment. Because to be honest with you, this is the first apartment I've moved to since I moved to New York over 9 years ago. So I'm not one of those people that jumped around. I've met people that have had a new apartment every 2 years. They
Mm-hmm.
just love moving. They're always looking for something different. For me, it's been interesting. I just saw a bunch of good questions and a lot of people tuning in. Jay from San Diego, shout out to Jaycation, great channel. If you're traveling to San Diego, want to give him a little love. Somebody asked a question above that I thought was interesting. He
Is it
said,
true that all New York is going to lockdown?
was that Tony?
Jenny Valdez.
Somebody else asked about lockdown. So, what's happening in New York right now? It's very uncertain because they're monitoring the numbers. Governor Cuomo, I would say, is more in control of lockdowns in New York than the mayor. The mayor chimes in, but it's Cuomo who pretty much makes the rules about each of the regions. I think we're at like 4% from this weekend, 4% infection rate. And I don't know if that's at a point where they're going to do any new lockdown measures. An interesting quote I saw today, which I sent a bunch of my friends, was Governor Cuomo said that he believes most of the cases of corona right now in New York City are happening from small get-togethers, like 65%. And he says that penalizing gyms and restaurants isn't necessarily the answer. So I'm happy he said that, but I'm just not convinced that there won't be another shutdown at some point, be it a week or 2 weeks. That's my prediction, and I hope I'm wrong. Like, I honestly, for once, hope my prediction's wrong. I just see the numbers going up, and I don't know what is going to stop the numbers from going up with people traveling for Thanksgiving, for Christmas. You know, the holidays are here. I'm thinking that there are going to be people traveling to New York City from the surrounding states in the next couple of weeks to see what the holiday season is like. Whether that's right or wrong really isn't my decision, but I know there's going to be more people here. So that's my concern, that the numbers are going to continue to go up. But is there a lockdown yet? No, actually, I don't believe there's any restrictions right now in most of New York. There's a few regions that have restrictions, but most do not.
Yeah, Crystal joined the chat.
Hey, Crystal, welcome. We got 182 people. I think our
Yeah.
record all time was like 400 in the summer.
Yeah.
No, maybe it was during lockdown when a lot of people were home.
With your colleague from Mexico. Live from Mexico. It's inside Rick Room.
Will we go live from Mexico? I don't think so. Jaycation, thank you for $2. The holiday season has begun. Much appreciated, my friend. Shout out to Jaycation, San Diego's best travel channel. Michael, you did not have to. Thank you for the 549 euro super chat. It was very nice of you. We're going to be talking soon. Someone said, look at all the space you have now. Yeah, and you can't really tell from this. If you missed the apartment tour video, and I think most of you didn't miss it, but ones that missed it, we have it on the channel. It actually did really well. You put your Christmas tree up.
Yeah, a little one. It's like this one. It's back in the living room. Argentina.
Hola desde Argentina.
I think we're gonna hear from our friend from Amazon soon.
Any tips on wanting to negotiate down in rent after a year? The only tip I would give you for negotiating rent would just be to show your landlord, okay, here is what people are charging in the neighborhood. I see apartments at 2,000 and you're paying 2,700. I'm pretty confident that we could have negotiated a rent, but we just moved. Our old apartment has not gone on the market yet. It was $2,750 when we left. I predict it'll rent at about $2,000, maybe even lower. So I don't know. Oh, there's so many messages to catch up to.
Let me read.
Let's see. Greg and Jumi are here. What's going on, guys? Shout out to Food and Footprints in Malaysia. Having a good time, I'm sure. Trip Hacks in the house from DC. Hope you're doing well. So Jason, hiking expert saying hi. Hope you're doing well also. I recognize a lot of the names here. Appreciate all of your support. Greetings from the UK. Thank you. Favorite holiday-related thing to do in New York City? That's a great question.
What?
Someone asked, what's our favorite holiday thing to do in New York City?
Escaping.
That is not the correct answer for this channel.
Normally we do, but this year it's crazy. So I would say for me, just walking around looking at the decoration in the Fifth Ave.
Okay.
That's my favorite thing. I don't like to go in the stores, but I like to walk on Fifth Ave and look at all the, how do you call the stores? Displays?
Displays, yeah.
Yeah, all the
Holiday displays. There's tons of them. Thank you to Mr. Matt Tasker for the $2.29 super chat. Much appreciated. My favorite thing to do has always been the Bryant Park Winter Village, because a lot of people will answer that the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree is number one, and we're actually going to be covering all of these this year. I know there's going to be a lot of questions about tourism right now, about the tree. We're going to get to this next, I think. We could talk about this, but we are going to be covering it in the next week or two. Expect 3 or 4 videos about the holidays in New York. So to get back to the question, my favorite thing to do in New York for the holidays by far is the Bryant Park Winter Village.
Too, yeah.
Just because we've covered every winter village in New York City. I think it's the best one. It gives you that feeling of being in Europe, because the winter villages are really a European thing, countries like Germany, Austria. So I think it gives you that vibe, but it also has a great amount of vendors. It has the ice skating rink, and you get this sort of surreal feeling. People ice skating, you look up, in the distance you see the Empire State Building. It's a very cool experience where you look at each other and you're like, wow, we're really in New York right now. That's one of those places that really gives me the chills in a good way, like goosebumps when I'm there. So we're gonna be there some point this week. We got a lot of things to film.
Yeah.
Who else is just tuned in? You see any good comments? Someone said, I liked your tour of Brighton Beach in the 70s and 80s. Oh, okay. Still have mates living there to this day. Brighton Beach is very underrated.
Hello from India.
What is up, India? We love Indian food and can't wait to visit India someday. Evan Doyle asked, will you be snagging tickets to see the Rockefeller Center tree? So here's the deal, and I'm not 100% positive. So the tree lighting is tomorrow, the 2nd, and it's not open to the public until the 3rd. So you need a ticket to get into the viewing area, and you have 5 minutes. And speaking of the devil, ActionKid is here. One of my favorite YouTubers who sent me this information. And so you get 5 minutes to look at the tree, which is insane, because if anyone who's watching has been there before, the lines is just insanity. I think outside of Times Square, it's the most congested I've ever felt. So I believe you go in person and you get a number, like on your phone, you get a Q code and you come back at a certain time. We're going to be covering that on the channel as well. I'm sure all the YouTubers are going to be covering it. All of the live streamers, the action kids, the urbanists, you name it, they're going to be covering it as well. So yeah, I mean, I am definitely going this year. We're definitely going to check it out. So we will do a video. Action Kids in the house, yeah.
Saludos a Portugal. Peculiar Pop. Someone likes Peculiar Pop. Oh, I miss Peculiar Pop.
Yeah, they had a little outside area that they set up. I mean, indoor. I don't know. I guess you maybe could eat and drink indoors because technically they serve food. So many things. Josh from NY is here. What's up, buddy? Great photographer, and he runs, what is it, like the Instagram NYC account. He just added me. I added him back the other day. Hello from San Diego, Gregory. How are you? But that's not my dad, Gregory. It's another Gregory. Someone asked, how does Park Slope nightlife compare to Manhattan? I don't know. We haven't done any yet because nothing's really open.
Everything closes at 10 p.m. I think these days. So before we used to go out, I remember at 10:30 p.m. the party started.
Yeah, exactly.
When everything was normal and we were younger. But now we don't do much.
Somebody asked, what's the story with these stuffed animals behind
this? This one?
Yeah, well, they're all. You know what's funny? Somebody made fun of me on my last video. They said, "Oh, he's got the stuffed animals protecting him." I think not realizing they were yours.
This one, I got it when I was an au pair. I was living in a host house in New Jersey, so my bed was really boring. and I was still young. I was 24, so for me, a boring bed was a big thing. So I got this one at the Disney store, and it's been with me since then. So I never took it back to Mexico. I just left it here in the U.S. And that baby, we just adopted him from Ikea because I can't have a real dog. So
One of those like $2-3
that you grab at the
impulse
end,
buys
yeah.
in IKEA.
I just look at Gerome like, can I have it?
One of the advantages to moving to this part of Brooklyn is we're way closer to IKEA. Not that we're going to
Yeah.
go that often, but it's a slight advantage. I saw Robert Mancuso. Thank you for joining, buddy.
Yay.
Mr. Rob, representing Fairlawn, New Jersey. Someone asked, are you guys going back to upstate New York? I would love to go back, but I don't think it's going to happen until next year.
Yeah.
Love to go back.
I would love to go back to. We can't have we can have a real dog, but we don't want to because we are sometimes not this year of course, but we are always traveling around, and we feel bad leaving our dog for so long. I think a dog really gets sad when the owners leave for so long, so that's why we decided not to.
Thank you, Leanne X, for $3.99. I believe that's British pounds. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna get a cat, I believe, next year. We're debating where. We always change our mind because there's actually a pet store very close to our apartment.
And they have kittens for adoption.
They have kittens for adoption. Then there's also some animal rescues, and I even think it would be cool to possibly make a video about adopting a cat in New York because people want to know how that process works. And then we could go the pure breed route. We like the British short hair. We don't know. We constantly change our mind on that.
We kind of don't want to buy it. There are so many to adopt, so we'll see.
Someone said hello, and Steve Abrams, greetings from Cherry Hill. How are you, Steve? Matt asked a good question, Mr. Tasker. Can you travel beyond the state of New York at the moment, or are there regulations in place? So most states have their own rules. It's like the states that neighbor each other. Generally, you can travel between them. So for example, you can travel freely between Pennsylvania, New Jersey, I believe New York, Connecticut, Vermont, and Massachusetts without any restrictions. Otherwise, what you're supposed to do is have a negative COVID test 72 hours or closer to your departure date. Then when you get to New York, you quarantine for 3 days. Then you get a second negative test, and then you can leave quarantine, they just changed this a month ago, actually. So you can travel to New York legally without issue if you do quarantine for 3 days and get a rapid test. And guys, the lines for the rapid tests are so bad right now. I read an article in the Post. It said there's people on TaskRabbit who are getting paid to go online to CityMD. So they're getting paid like $40 an hour. They wait 2 hours and the person comes, takes their spot. So it's actually a business to wait in line for a COVID test.
Crazy. Where am I from in Mexico? San Luis Potosí. Nobody knows about it.
It's in the center.
It's in the center.
North Mexico City.
Mm-hmm. I'm reading the comments. Oh, there are so many.
Someone said, as a local, what is the most annoying thing about tourists? What tourists? We don't see many anymore. I forgot what tourists felt like. I miss tourists. I miss them because it means that everything's normal again. And honestly, tourists aren't really a big deal unless you go to the super congested parts of the city, which would, I suppose, be like downtown by the Memorial, Midtown Manhattan, Times Square, holidays in New York, Fifth Ave, Rockefeller. Outside of that, even living in Greenwich Village, it wasn't that bad.
No, honestly, they're not bad. Just the typical things that sometimes even us, we probably do it in other cities when we are tourists, like walking slow, stopping to take pictures. So we block the sidewalk. But I think everybody does it when we become tourists.
I've told this story before, how we went for my bachelor party to Montreal, and there was 6 of us walking at the same time, and I saw locals looking angry, running around us, and I said, that's how they feel. So now I'm the stupid tourist in another city.
Everybody says it's a tourist once in their life, so it's okay.
Thank you, Martin, for 50 Czech krona. I don't know, is that right? Krona? Hello, John. Thanks so much for your videos. Helped a lot. Wish you good. Take care. Appreciate it. Nazdarovi. I wish I had a drink to toast you. Someone asked, you ever been to Amsterdam? I have been to Amsterdam. I hurt my foot there. My lesson from Amsterdam is don't buy sneakers without testing them first. I bought sneakers, went on this trip, walked around Amsterdam all day, and I had so much pressure on my left foot that I was limping. I had to buy €100 sneakers, which actually lasted me a long time, and I had to throw these old sneakers out. So like footwear is so commonly overlooked when you travel. For New York especially, it's a huge walking city. Like, don't bring new shoes here, break them in first.
Yes, Pittsburgh Living, congratulations for your artwork.
Oh, you want to talk about it now? So Adriana wants to show you what she has on her store. I know many of you have bought, so thank you for supporting this artist here. But yeah, if you're looking for cool holiday gifts, I put a link in the description and a pinned comment. You want to show them what they can buy?
Oh yeah. Well, I have the ones we showed you at the tour video, apartment tour video, was these 3 prints right here. You can see is Brooklyn Bridge, Empire State, and the Statue of Liberty. And I sold a pack of 3 or separate. You can find them there. And for Christmas, I made these postcards too. There are 5. It's Central Park, Radio City, Rockefeller Center, Radio City again. I don't know if I have them all here.
Put them backwards? Okay.
Dumbo and Manhattan in general. So I got a lot of orders. Thank you so much for your support. It means a lot. So if you want to buy them, you can find them in my Etsy shop. He probably is going to leave the link.
It's already there, yeah.
And I will if you want to buy them, I will tell you to buy them this week because due COVID, there are delays on the mail. So if you want them for Christmas, it's better.
If you're international, if you want these to arrive by Christmas, you need to order them really soon because there's delays all over. We Europe took a couple of weeks. Yeah, Australia took a couple of weeks too.
Normally it doesn't take that long, but things are different this year, so yeah.
And my own little promotion, if you guys have heard about my Patreon, this is also supporting her in a different way. I've got about 5 left. I was giving the first 10 people that join my Patreon a little bonus. I'm just going to send you one of these postcards anywhere in the world for free if you join at any tier. We've got a lot of cool stuff. A bunch of you are Patreon members watching this live stream right now. One of the things we do on Patreon actually is we have one live chat a month. I hardly ever do live chats to the public. I don't mind them. I just never get around to it. So the next, I believe we have 5 left. Next 5 people that join, check the link. A lot of cool perks, like early access to videos and other cool stuff. So yeah, check it out. I'm going to send these out to people that join.
Yeah, and thank you for your support. We're looking at our friend
the Amazon Prime truck.
The Amazon Prime truck. We're like excited about getting stuff. Someone said, I saw a question. It says, do you go to Manhattan often, and how is the commute from Park Slope? I think it's an interesting question for you.
I go to Manhattan often for videos. I found that still the majority of my videos are in Manhattan just because it's the most relevant location, even though I could argue this for tourists. No, I won't argue it because most tourists really concentrate on Manhattan, and I'm not here to talk you out of it, especially if it's your first trip. So we're going to Manhattan a lot in the next week or so for some holiday videos. The commute to Lower Manhattan actually is about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, pretty quick. Midtown also pretty fast, about 30 to 35. The hardest commutes from here, honestly, would be other parts of Brooklyn that are more north, like let's say Bushwick, because you'd have to go through Manhattan.
Like 45 minutes to an hour to get there.
Uptown Manhattan would be a long commute. Queens would be a pretty long commute from here. But Lower Manhattan, Midtown Manhattan's 30 minutes or less. So it's actually not too bad. But it has been an adjustment because I feel different because I'm commuting a lot more. I'm taking the subway more, so it's good and it's bad. I mean, you saw my last subway video. Things are a little hectic down there lately. Someone asked how old we were. I mentioned my age a bunch of times.
I'm How old do you think I am?
I've said my age before. I don't know if they remember. You guys want to guess how old we are?
We're really old. We're just vampires. 18.
I'm insulted that I look too young. I'm a vampire. 38. Now you're too old. 43. Wow.
43. 31. 24. Yeah, I'm 30.
I'm 36. Wow, I feel so old saying that. Yeah, we got a bunch of younger guesses.
69. 1,000. This cash help you guys pick an apartment.
No, if I wanted Cash's help, I would have lived in the East Village or Lower East Side. His company really specializes in that region. Otherwise, like Streeteasy is very easy to use. I guess that's why they call it Streeteasy. You can just put all the listings there. You don't need a broker as badly as you maybe needed one 10 or 20 years ago. I heard stories where people would have to run and get the newspaper, and you would have all the listings there, and then everyone would be running to all the listings or calling the brokers. Now it's all online in real time. Somebody asked me, would I consider doing videos like ActionKid or Urbanist? And my answer is no. I'll tell you why. They're really good at it. I am not so good that I could walk around, show you things, and be like engaging and look at other people and respond to the chat. Like that takes some serious skills that I don't have. I have other skills in this life, and being live and chatting and looking around, it's like 3 things at once. I don't know how those people do it. I've tried it. I felt so awkward in public. So I'm gonna leave it to the experts. I'm leaving it to the action kids, to the urbanists. They're good at it. Let them do it. I'm gonna do my style. You never know. I might occasionally do it for some reason, but it's not really my thing.
Oh, thank you, Sparking Heart.
Sean, appreciate the $2, man. Hope you're doing well in Riverside. What's the best neighborhood in Manhattan for young actors? I love your content. I don't know what that question means per se. Like if you're a struggling actor and you want something cheap. I mean, I know a lot of actors live uptown. I've heard a lot of actors living like Morningside Heights, Washington Heights, Harlem. Rent's a bit cheaper. Michael Chin, not your thing, but you can do anything but your mind to. I believe it's Action Kid's dad. Thank you for your support. I think I could do those types of live streams. I'm not saying I couldn't. I just don't feel comfortable with them. Adriana, you should bring out mugs. That's actually a good idea. You should sell mugs.
Yeah, I think this year I started really late. It wasn't something I was planning. Many of you know that I was making pet portraits before, but I wasn't really happy with it. So it was the last minute thing, like, oh, I want to do this. Why don't I start now? So I'm really not prepared for anything. So I told John that I really want to get ready for the whole next year to have everything ready for each season. So probably mugs are going to be one of those things that I'm going to add.
You could do a lot of stuff. I was even asking her if she'd be willing to design some shirts for me, just doing some similar designs that you did. Like I could even show them, like, would you guys be interested in a t-shirt if it had this on it as an alternative to the wall art? Or maybe maybe not exactly the same thing, but I think something like this would look amazing on a t-shirt. Maybe it's just me. I don't know how you guys feel. Someone keeps asking, are we Dutch? We are definitely not Dutch. Which is your favorite local airport? I knew Matt would ask that question. What do you think? What's your favorite airport around here? Do you have one?
My favorite airport, I think, I like Newark.
Newark, really?
Newark. I don't know why. Maybe because I always use that one so many times that I feel so familiar where I have to go, what I have to do. If you send me by myself to LaGuardia or JFK, I get lost because I've done those like a couple times. So I'm like, where am I? So I think that's why. Not because it's better or nicer, because I know what to do.
I actually like JFK, but the reason is I have a priority pass card for anybody that goes to lounges a lot, and JFK gives me the most options. Even though LaGuardia has a Centurion lounge, which is amazing, I just think JFK because it has so many international flights, and it's in New York City. So I don't know. I think I'm a JFK fan, but I never liked Newark that much. I don't know. I grew up in Jersey. I don't know. Newark never was that exciting for me. JFK is the airport that has the most obscure airlines going to the most obscure places. So I don't know. Something about JFK is really cool. Good question from Marie. Have we found any good eats in Park Slope?
Yeah, we have actually. We found a really cool barbecue place just like a couple blocks from here. We found.
Well, that's not even Park. It's close.
Iguanas, but yeah, you're
Pig
right.
Beach.
No, but it's in
Close,
the area.
yeah.
Iguanas, and we found an amazing deli that one of you told us about. with great sandwiches.
Should I say the name? I don't know if I should say the name.
That's our secret. Now it's gonna be in one video in the future. I'm pretty sure. I don't even remember the names now because I don't want to tell you. But
It's on
it's
Fifth Ave. It's on Fifth Ave and Sackett.
It's so good, and I don't know. It's so many.
Brownstone Bagels is not far from here. It's a pretty good bagel spot, even though I've been told about like 7 or 8 other well-known bagel places in Park Slope. Bagel Holes in South Slope, Luigi's in South Slope, I've been to before. I know they're good, but they're about a 20-minute walk. I still need to canvas the immediate 5 to 10-minute area. There's a bunch of pizza places I want to do. So we've tried some places. There's a lot more I want to try, though. Someone kept asking, is YouTube my full-time job? At the moment, it actually is my full-time job, yes.
There is another question. I want to answer this one because it's funny. How are your neighbors? We don't know them. We haven't seen them.
Well, so it's interesting with the neighborhood situation here, the neighbor situation, because we live on the 2nd floor, so we're in and out so quick. I think
we only have 2 more.
We know the lady downstairs.
She's really nice.
And then
there's a couple above us,
yeah,
and another guy, but I've never seen them.
One of our neighbors slams her door a lot. We don't know who, but someone constantly slams the door when they leave the building. So we're like I don't know. Like I don't want to.
Sometimes we want to run and see when we hear it. Like, oh, run, let's say hi because we want to introduce ourselves.
But it's COVID, so I don't want to go knocking on doors. So I don't want to, Yeah, actually, 2nd floor is very nice, especially after living on the 4th floor for about 10 years.
Someone asked if I'm single. And I said,
I think a few people already answered that. Be like, sorry.
I'm taken.
I usually don't even wear my ring at home. I'm one of those people where I only wear it when I'm out. I don't really enjoy having a ring on. It's kind of annoying, but I like to wear it when I'm out or like doing something important. So I am wearing it.
Honeymoon in New York City. Wow,
I've heard of it.
Yeah, no, that would be like if I didn't live in New York, that would be like my dream honeymoon.
That's actually one thing we're very weak at. People ask sometimes, like, what's the most romantic restaurant?
But I think
we don't really,
but if you're coming as a honeymoon, I think doing everything, it's pretty magic.
I think just walking around with the lights.
Central Park and the Brooklyn Bridge.
The rooftop bars, 235th if you want to be basic.
Because you can either go really cheap and look all those attractions there for free, like Times Square, the Brooklyn Bridge, Central Park, all the parks that New York has, or walking by the water, go to Hoboken and see the skyline or Governor's Island and see the skyline of New York. There are so many things that you can do that are really cheap. Or you can go fancy and go to the rooftops and expensive restaurants. So I think New York is a cool place to have a honeymoon.
Definitely.
For different budgets.
Different budgets, you could go really luxury. I'm not really the channel for like ultra luxury stuff, but you could do it. Actually, Sarah Funk, I don't know if she's watching, she's done some really cool like upper end, higher tier videos. If you want like the swanky stuff on your honeymoon, check out her channel for sure.
It says you should leave your neighbors some artwork for a nice gesture. Actually, it's funny because our landlord just asked me if I can give her one of my pieces of art, this one that I showed you, because he wants to put it in the hallway. That was really nice.
Where's the best view of the skyline?
I like the one for Governor's Island.
Governor's Island.
Governor's Island, I think, is one of my favorites. If you go during the day and you have a picnic, you have a beautiful view. Also, like from Hoboken, in the other side of the river.
That's a good one too,
and that's
year round.
During the night.
Because Governor's Island is only open until I think November. I think it's closed already. It's not going to open again until May. Governor's Island is by far the best skyline view, but maybe they're asking from like a rooftop. What would you say?
From rooftop?
One of the Skydecks. Which one?
I will say Top of the Rock.
Really?
It's really cool. I don't know. All of them have different perspectives. That I couldn't tell you which one, but I like the ones that allow me to see the Empire State Building because it's my favorite building. So I wouldn't recommend the Empire State because I can't see it. So
I still want to do the Edge. Excuse me. I want to do the Edge again at sunset. I'm really curious what that experience would be like. So right now, I think I'm gonna just barely put the Edge as my favorite, but I don't know. We went to the Empire State Building at sunset and I loved it. So I like them all, honestly. But I think right now the Edge is the most interesting one for me. Just because it's the most futuristic and it just has a different angle really of the city because it's a little bit more, it's closer to Jersey. It's on the west side. So yeah, I think if you had to come to one and you've been to most of the tourist attractions already, I would recommend the Edge. Otherwise, Top of the Rock is a classic as well.
Yeah. Have you lived in other cities?
For you or me?
I mean, of course, I was living, not in many actually, just 3 cities. In my hometown back in Mexico, New Jersey, and New York.
I've lived in other places when I was broadcasting. I lived in El Paso, Texas for about like 4 to 5 months. 2 different times. What else? I've lived in Montpelier, Vermont, Great Falls, Montana. Again, this is all during my broadcasting career. Doing minor league baseball, lived in New Jersey. That barely counts. Fair Lawn, New Jersey is where I grew up. So I grew up right across from New York City, which doesn't make me a New Yorker, but I was closer to Manhattan than a lot of people living in Queens, which some people don't even realize. Like where I grew up, like we got all the New York stations. I was going to New York a lot growing up. So yes.
Yeah. I'm not doing pet portraits. Someone asked if I'm still doing it. No, I took a little break, maybe next year. And how do we meet? Tinder.
Met on Tinder. We did a video about this if you're curious. I did a video, I think it was called like 30 things you don't know, 10 things you didn't know about me. Someone said you're too nice to be real New Yorkers. I think plenty of.
I'm not New Yorker.
Well, I would like to talk about this stereotype. I don't think real New Yorkers are mean.
No,
I've met plenty of native New Yorkers who are really nice.
We have a lot of friends that are really New Yorkers, and they are so kind and sweet and nice.
You know where I think this stereotype comes from, and I've heard people say this? I think the nasty New York stereotype comes from people that visit New York for the first or second time, and they're going to all the tourist attractions, and they're dealing with people who are just have very little patience because they keep getting asked the same questions over and over again. So you're dealing with people in the tourism sector who just aren't that nice. They're like, keep it walking, keep it walking. That's my theory anyway. I've met so many cool native New Yorkers.
Of course, there is everything. In every city, there is everything. There are mean people.
I think that stereotypes come from movies too much.
We have good native New Yorkers. They're really nice.
Evan just said, we're Evan, a native New Yorker, a good friend, Harlem tour guide. He said we're just busy. That's why.
Yeah, I like that answer. So yeah.
Someone asked, "Is your girlfriend Brazilian?"
No, I get that question a lot.
Oh, we're actually married.
Yeah, I'm
actually, it's gonna be 2 years and 2 months.
Yeah.
She's from Mexico. Yeah.
I'm from Mexico, but I get that question, either Indian or Brazilian.
Come to Glendale, for goodness sake, read my comment. Read your comment. Glendale, Queens. Noted. I have a lot of neighborhoods I need to visit, honestly. Tons of them. 258 people. Wow. Who? Which one?
Gennady.
Probably. That's probably Gennady, yeah.
Yeah, when are you getting cats? Next year. Home Alone. I don't like Home Alone.
I love Home Alone too.
I don't like it.
I love Home Alone too. I grew up with that movie.
I'm gonna tell you why I don't like it. Because when I was a little girl, we didn't have cable or anything, so they played that movie all the time, and I just wanted to watch cartoons, and the movie was always playing on the TV, so I hated it. So I think I have that feeling.
Someone asked, "What does hereby Barr mean?" I get asked that question a lot. Hereby Barr is played off of the old English saying, "Here be dragons," which if you look at the old maps, there are the spots on the maps that are unexplored, and they have a little dragon because nobody knows what's there. So I thought it would be cool to just put my name in it and explore things. Now, not everything I do is unexplored, but I pride myself in covering things on this channel that don't get a lot of attention. So I think that's where it came from. Yes, that is where it came from.
Yeah.
Home Alone 2 rocks. I
like
concur.
That one better than the first one, actually.
Someone asked, is Nabisco factory in Fair Lawn? I actually heard they were moving, but yes, anyone who knows Fair Lawn, New Jersey knows that Nabisco, famous for the Oreo cookie. Actually, they had their factory, little known fact, next to the Highline before it was the Highline, and I think you could see some signage for it. And it's inside Chelsea Market. There's something that talks about where the Nabisco, where the Oreo cookie was invented, and they moved operations to lovely Fair Lawn, New Jersey. So when you would drive on Route 208 in Fair Lawn, you would smell cookies. It was kind of crazy. It was it was Willy Wonka-like. Someone actually just said something interesting. Greg said, "Do you think the negativity about crime and people not coming back to New York City has been overblown?" Yeah, I think it's been overblown. I think anything that is negative will get more attention with the press. I mean, even for my videos, I admit, I know that if I do a video titled, "Is New York City dead?" or "Is the subway doomed?" I know it'll get more clicks. So the media knows these things too. Yes, I think that it's been overblown, but there is something to be said about the streets being emptier, and you might run into some unsavory characters. So yes, you have to be more careful now. I think that's true, but the crime rate is a little bit up, but there's a lot less people, so actually crimes overall in some ways are down. It's really strange, a bit of a catch-22, because you'd like to see more people out, but then we have the whole COVID situation, so you don't want to see too many people out, so it's a little confusing.
That's why it says, why did you stop saying what's up, members of the Barrio?
I'm actually playing What's Up, Members of the Barrio more into the videos again. I actually stopped doing it because I thought that if I did it in the beginning of my videos, people might feel left out, like they don't know what I'm talking about, or they think that I'm trying to sound like some tough guy, like because I'm trying to imply that I'm from New York, what's up, Barrio, and really it's actually a play on my last name, Barr, and I got it when I was in Mexico. And somebody said, if you're going to name your audience, why don't you do members of the Barrio? You're in Mexico making videos, your last name's Barr, and Barrio means neighborhood. So I like that. But I feel like in the US, sometimes it gets a little bit of a negative connotation saying Barrio, like I'm a tough guy. So I am using it again. I did miss saying it, but sometimes I don't say it. It just depends on my mood. Have you guys been to Macys? I saw they decorated it. Not yet, but I will be filming there in the next week. I'm very interested in filming there because I saw that their window displays are next level this year. So get ready on the channel. I have videos coming very soon. Someone said Adriana's from Juarez. She is not from Ciudad Juarez.
I've never been there, but I want to go.
I've actually been to Juarez. It's on the border of El Paso, Texas.
I've never been in the north of Mexico, if I have to confess that. I've been in the south and center, but never in the north. I'm from San Luis Potosí.
Did you get to keep the bullet that went through your thigh years ago? I did not. The bullet went in and out, so I never got to keep it. That's a good question, though. Although I read that it's worse if the bullet's in you. It's better if it goes in and out.
No, I guess to keep it like with you.
Oh, that would be interesting if I had it as a necklace, yeah. Have you ever been to the UK? Yes, I've been to the UK multiple times. I love London. I was actually planning on going to London in March. Yeah. Literally about a week.
When everything started.
I canceled the trip in the beginning of March, but we were supposed to go mid-March. I was supposed to go to a conference in Sicily, and I was going to stop to see friends in London and make some cool videos there.
No, we canceled it. Yeah.
Someone said, are you glad you left Manhattan? What's the word I would use for this? Perhaps ambivalent, not feeling, I believe the definition is not feeling strongly either way. I miss it a little bit because I'm used to Manhattan, but I look back at it and I think to myself, even my last year living in Greenwich Village, I look back on it and I think, well, what was I really doing here? What were the benefits for me outside of being central to everything? That was the best benefit. The number one thing I miss about living in Greenwich Village was that we were in the middle of everything, so I could get anywhere in New York really fast. That's what I miss most. And my local businesses, of course, pizza, bagels, little shops, everything like that. But, Brooklyn's not that far. So I miss it, but I don't think we're moving back to Manhattan. I just don't think it's going to happen.
I don't miss Manhattan that much.
Evan says, I think the people want to know what's your favorite eatery in Brooklyn so far. And for me, what's the next stop to eat? Fat boy at heart. Honestly, one of my favorite experiences dining in Brooklyn so far was Dafara. And this was about a few months ago. I did it with my friend Chip, and I did it with Chiara, a cool New York City Italian vlogger. And I thought the pizza was out of this world. That is definitely up there on my list. I'm thinking of other good Brooklyn eating experiences we've had. Oh, thank you for the $5 super chat from Anthin-tron. I'm sorry if I butchered your name.
Thank you.
Any good Brooklyn food experiences that stick out to you? I need to think about this, like specifically Brooklyn, of what we'd covered on the channel. Roberta's, not Roberta's, excuse me. Juliana's Pizza in Dumbo, very good.
Some.
I brought you some.
That's so good.
That's really good as well. I just keep thinking of pizza. Bagel Hole in Park Slope. I did that for a video. I have yet to find a better bagel in New York, and we have to go back there maybe in like the next week or two.
Yep.
I'm actually trying to think of like other other great food experiences we've had in Brooklyn. I've eaten a lot more memorable meals in Queens, I think, in Manhattan, honestly.
Oh yeah,
We got to explore the food scene more in Brooklyn. Greg from Food and Footprints just said Juliana's. Yes, you're the one who took me there. Thank you. I appreciate it. Someone said try Tacos Bronco in Brooklyn. We did. We tried Tacos El Bronco. We went there about a month ago. What was your take on it? You liked it?
They're fine.
You didn't love them.
I didn't love them, but it's so fair because I'm Mexican. So I've tried so many tacos in my life that my rank, like I said, my expectations are really high.
Yeah.
But if I had to be fair and say like tacos in New York, they are good.
I think the best tacos in New York right now are no, but there's actually the one place in Queens left. They had no name. They made the Al Pastor.
They were so good.
It's called Beerlandia. So I just found out from Greg, and then I saw at other places that they opened up a food truck in Williamsburg. So the best tacos in New York right now, I think, are in Williamsburg, and I believe it's Elmhurst, Beerlandia food truck. Definitely check them out.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a super chat. Thank you from Carnal. To my favorite NYC couple, your favorite Christmas movie that takes place? If so, what film and why? Well, I was just saying Home Alone 2. Any Christmas movies in New York you really like?
Any what?
Christmas movies in New York outside of Home Alone 2?
Christmas movies in New York. Let me think about it. Of course, Home Alone is the biggest one. Oh my God, I don't
know that many other Christmas movies specifically in New York that I was that into.
No.
That one always comes to mind.
I always see Hallmark, the
Hallmark
channel.
Yeah.
Channel. They have a lot of like silly Christmas movies. Those are my favorites. But I don't remember one that was placed in New York City.
Someone said, what shoes would you wear on your trip to New York? Very comfortable shoes.
Super comfortable, guys. You have to be the most comfortable shoes.
And if you're one of those people that likes to go out at night to a fancy place, bring 2 pairs of shoes, but put those away. Wear comfortable sneakers or whatever.
Yeah, I've seen girls that wanna have really nice pictures on Central everywhere with heels, high heels, and I'm like, that looks nice, but I would recommend you to put them maybe in a book bag, and then put it on to take the pictures, and then put back your sneakers because you're gonna hurt yourself.
Jennifer Chan, $4.99.
Yeah,
thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. Somebody asked my favorite subway station in New York. I like the one by what was it, World Trade Center. I like the architecture there, and I like the Oculus, like walking through to get to it. That's a really nice one.
I think that's my favorite too.
The other one, which really isn't, what is it? It's when you see the old City Hall station, you go to the you go on the last stop of the 6 train, and then it wraps around. If that counts as an answer, I would say that's my favorite station, City Hall station, but it's not open to the public. You could take a tour there with the Transit Museum, or you could take the 6 train to the last stop in Manhattan, and then you stay on the train. I did a video about this. That's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was thinking about the one under the Natural History Museum.
Oh, that is
That's
cool
really
art.
cool too because that's cool art. Yeah. Vegetarian places to eat. Oh, we don't know money.
I used to like one in the Village. I'm really weak on vegetarian stuff. I mean, I could say pizza and bagels, but I don't think that's the answer you're looking for. We need help on vegetarian and vegan cuisine. I'm gonna work on this.
Yeah, we need to work on that.
Somebody was asking me, like, I like the Yankees and the Knicks. Not a huge sports fan these days, but if I had to pick my teams, those are the teams I grew up with, like Yankees, Knicks, Islanders, and Jets. Favorite thing for you to do in New York in winter? I know your answer, like stay home and you're up.
You read my mind. Get my blanket, like snuggles in the couch.
For me, I would say it's the Christmas markets, like any of them.
Yeah, the Christmas
They're all pretty
markets
similar.
are my favorite. They're so cozy. It's like being in a village, like an old village. You forget that you're in the big city.
Someone was mentioning Cash a few times about the 40 times rule for negotiating. And when somebody says the 40 times rule for New York real estate, it means your annual income is supposed to be at least 40 times the rent. Now, one way around this is to have your parents act as guarantors, which means if you don't pay your rent, they can come after your parents, like a guarantor on lease. Actually, my mom was a guarantor on our first lease, so thank you to her for that. Not that we always paid our rent, but it was very helpful to get our first apartment. There's also companies that will pay You can pay companies to be your guarantor, as a heads up. We just got a $5 super chat from Go Luis Gusto.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Would you do an NY
Sports video tour since we're previously a broadcaster? Yeah, I'd love to. You know, I've wanted to do a video going to a Yankees game and talking about that. That was my goal.
Yeah,
Never got. I mean, couldn't do it this year. Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I would have probably I probably would have went there, got the StubHub app out, and bought tickets on the spot. And then I would have been like, here's how you get cheap tickets. Here's where we eat. Here's what you do. So I would love to.
Yeah, we're gonna get a. Says, well, do you want to get a pet? Yeah, we want to get a cat next year. So we might make a video about it to show you Mr. Snuggles.
Mr. Snuggles.
That's the name.
Do you guys cook every day or go out to eat or order?
I'm the one that cook, and I cook. I will say 5 days maybe, and we order or we go out the other 2 days. We try to cook. I'll try to.
Sometimes maybe it's 4 times a week.
This last week was really tough because we had Thanksgiving and I cooked for Thanksgiving, but we had a lot of leftovers. So we ate leftovers until yesterday, I think.
Yeah, I had a good question pop up. Somebody asked this again. We touched on it earlier in the chat. They said, if I'm coming from the southern United States, do you have to quarantine for 14 days? So about a couple weeks ago, they changed the rule on this. If you get a negative COVID test within 72 hours of leaving your home state, and then you come to New York, you're supposed to quarantine for 3 days, get a rapid test, and then if you're clear after 3 days, you can leave quarantine early. It's on the New York State website. Just Google NY State COVID rules, and it'll pop up. You can see the exact restrictions.
I get a good question. Would you consider to get a car now?
No. Parking in Park Slope is horrible. One of the many nicknames for Park Slope is no Park Slope. That's one. Like, parking is a nightmare here during the week. Unless you want to sit in your car twice. No, actually, some spots is once a week compared to the Village was twice a week. And you have to sit there for an hour and a half while the street sweepers come. You have to pull out and then pull back in. So if you have the free time to do that, it could work. But for me, the amount of times we would actually need the car, I don't like driving in New York. I'd rather rent a car when we need it. Any other questions, guys? We probably got about 10 minutes left. And it's funny, you said you were going to leave after 30 minutes and you got sucked in.
Yeah, just I feel bad leaving me like, hey, bye guys.
No, you're riding this one out.
I'm the one that cooks more in the relationship. And actually, I'm the one that cooks. You don't cook at all.
Not much.
I cook a lot of Mexican food.
Oh, a question from someone in Mexico.
Thank you.
For 50 pesos.
Thank you.
Is it possible to have a honeymoon on a budget in New York? That sounds like a great video. Not that I'm necessarily gonna make that video, but we've made a lot of content about like free things, cheap food. The only thing that would be tough would be going to a high-end restaurant or like a high-end bar. I don't know if you're necessarily gonna get a luxury experience for cheap, but if that doesn't matter to you, you could absolutely do a cheap honeymoon.
Yeah, I think it probably the most thing you're gonna, depending on how much time in advance you buy your tickets, you're gonna probably spend more money on your hotel or Airbnb. And the money you can save, you don't mind eating like cheap good food, because you can find like affordable good food in New York, and a lot of things in New York, if it's your first time, are for free. So I think you can definitely have a great time for a low, no super low, but like normal budget.
Somebody said, what's your favorite Mexican dish outside of tacos? I don't know if that was for you or for me. Both of us love al pastor tacos.
Yeah, but besides tacos, I think, oh my god, there are so many things.
More northern Mexico. Pozole?
Pozole. I love pozole. I love tamales. There are so many small dishes in Mexico, like gorditas, guaraches.
Gorditas are good.
I mean, the Americans normally don't know because not everybody makes them here, and they're so good.
Meaty is good Mexican
food.
food.
Was gone.
Okay, sound is back. I don't know, guys, what happened, but someone said I'd love a T-shirt with Adriana's NYC art. We're working on it. I think we're gonna do it. Favorite type of video to film? For me, that's so easy to answer. Any like ethnic area of New York that specializes either in like one ethnicity or multiple ethnicities together, like Chinatowns or like Little Italy, Brighton Beach. I don't know how you feel about that. Mexican areas, I love
I
covering
like
that.
it. The enchiladas suizas. I love enchiladas suizas. Does your wife like Russian food? Is the ones I love Russian
The pierogies,
pierogies?
the vareniki,
Vareniki.
yes.
Oh my god, I love them.
Borscht,
Borscht.
borscht soup, yeah.
Yes, I love it.
Someone asked, would you ever buy a place in New York? New York real estate's very expensive. Like this apartment, I predict would sell for $500,000 to $700,000 for a one-bedroom apartment. And then you compare what you could get in the suburbs. Now you are leaving New York City. Not saying I'm leaving New York City, but you look at the space you can get for $500,000 outside of the New York area, and you're getting a mansion. So, buying property in New York is not a decision you make lightly unless you know you want to stay here or you see value in it, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Someone asked if we tried El Salvadorian pupusas. No, but we want to. There's a place I was told about in Sunset Park I really want to go to.
Oh, wait.
We've got so many questions.
Why did you choose Brooklyn and not go back to New Jersey?
I think you can't compare Brooklyn to New Jersey. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe Hoboken or Jersey City have got a cool vibe. I think both of us spent a lot of time in New Jersey, and I like New Jersey, but I don't want to live there again. I find Brooklyn more of like the New York City experience, where New Jersey, a lot of people want to keep their car. I find that as a huge reason, is that, you know, they want their car. Or you have ties in New Jersey, which I do, but I just really love being connected to the subways, so.
Yeah, we got a...
Super chat. Is that rupees, I think? Indian rupees? 40? Thank you, Himanshu Jalan, for the rupees.
There are so many Indians are there so many Indians in NYC?
Many Indians.
There's a big population.
Actually, you know, if you didn't see this video, we did a great video in Jersey City showing the Indian population there in a Journal Square. That area, we call it Little India. It's like 2 blocks. It's entirely Indian stuff. So I think New Jersey has more Indians than New York City. I could be wrong, but Edison, New Jersey has the biggest Indian population, I believe, in the United States by population or per capita.
Oh, thank you, Mike. Oh, your channel thinks when
Thank you, Mike, for the
$5
Canadian dollars, which I don't even know if that's worth more than $5 US right now. I forget, like, the exchange rate changes so much. Good question. Why Brooklyn over Queens? What do you think? Maybe because I soldier on Brooklyn more?
Yeah, I don't dislike Queens. I just followed him.
You know, for me, it wasn't so much a Brooklyn versus Queens versus Manhattan thing. It was a neighborhood thing. Yeah. I was sold on Park Slope. I don't feel like, I'm like, I want to move to Brooklyn. No, it was, I want to move to Park Slope. I love this area. I love all the conveniences here, how it's not too far from Manhattan. I like walking a block or two and seeing really nice brownstones and Fifth Ave with just endless supply of restaurants, and we have Gowanus here, which has breweries, which has barbecue. We could walk to Prospect Park in 10 or 15 minutes. I think this area's got a lot going on for a couple. You see a lot of couples here, a lot of young families, maybe not as many single people, but for couples, I think it's an amazing neighborhood. It's a little quieter too. Queens I like, but for the record, I think Queens is great. But there wasn't a neighborhood in Queens where I just saw myself living. There wasn't one area where I'm like, I want to move here. Walking through Park Slope, I felt I want to live here.
Too many baby strollers.
There's a lot of strollers here.
Yeah, it's true.
A lot of animals and dogs. Mostly just dogs. We saw a cat the other day.
We saw a cat in a stroller. That was very unique.
Forest Hills is beautiful. What I don't like about Forest Hills for me, like, I know people there who have a car. I think it's a little far from Manhattan for me, but you know, I think Forest Hills is great too.
All right.
Someone said, what is the most affordable place for students to live in Brooklyn? I don't even know Brooklyn well enough to give you an answer to that question.
We need to explore more.
I don't know the rents in Brooklyn that much. I know that the more expensive areas of Brooklyn are Brooklyn Heights, Cobble Hill, Boerum Hill, Park Slope, Clinton Hill maybe, of course Williamsburg and certain parts of Bushwick. The further you get from Manhattan, pretty sure the prices go down. Hey Barr, what's the best donut bagel in the city? Best bagel I've ever had in New York was Bagel Home Park Slope, and I have not been back since I made that video, which is a crime. Best donut, I believe, for me is Donut Plant. I think it was in Chelsea, the black and white donut. I love that. There's a bunch of donut plants, even one on Flatbush Ave, which is closed, and I want to go back to. But there's a lot of good donuts in New York. I'm not really the donut expert. Would you ever settle in Staten Island? No, I'm not really interested in Staten Island. Staten Island reminds me of New Jersey a bit. I think Staten Island's fine, but I don't see us living there. Someone asked, do you do private tours? I do not do private tours. I am going to soon take my tour guide test. You need a license to be a tour guide, but I'm taking it more because I'm planning on selling some guides in the future, and I would feel more qualified to send the guides as a licensed official tour guide. Will I ever give a tour? Never say never, but it's not something I'm planning. I just want to have it in my back pocket. So as of now, no tours. Would I ever give a tour? I don't know, maybe. I feel like I'm giving tours all the time when we do videos. There's just nobody there. I'm just giving it to you from the camera. Wow, we have 264 people here.
Yeah. I'm about to leave you.
I think we're gonna wrap this in like 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna probably go with you at the same time. We got a lot of questions just popped in. Where are you guys watching from? Anyone just tuned in? I'm kind of curious. We saw it in the beginning. So many comments to catch up on. Any video ideas before we go? I'm curious. Anyone have any video ideas I'd like to see on the channel? Oh, here we go.
London, Hoboken.
Mason says, I'll never forget the inside tour of the city you gave me. What's up, Mason? That was a free tour. You got the John Barr free tour.
Okay, Vancouver, Arizona. India, Lisbon,
San Diego. Look, I can't even pinpoint one specific area. It's just all over. All over.
Peru.
UK, Venezuela, my goodness. Belgium, California, Oklahoma. Like, just when I think we got one part of the country, it just spreads everywhere.
That's funny.
Chile.
Texas, Querétaro, hola. Colombia, mucha gente que habla español. Sí hablan español, ¿no?
No, I'm good. French Riviera.
Baltimore, French.
Someone asked a good question. Has COVID-19 had a bigger impact on New York City than 9/11? I think yes, in some sense, yes.
Of economical or?
I mean, I think 9/11 was more of an immediate one-day event that caused a huge impact on security and safety and people's well-being. But I think COVID has just been going on for so long that it's been more of a long-term issue. So I think I would say they both had a huge impact, but I would say COVID-19 maybe more long-term because, it's not just security here. It's also how people do business. There's going to be a lot of people now who don't ever come back to work again in New York because their companies realize we don't need them in the office. Why are we spending so much money to have this tiny midtown office when you could telecommute? So I think COVID-19's had immense impact on how things are going to change around here. And tourism, I have no idea how things are going to change. But for just the business world, it's crazy. Mike Landry, $5 super chat. Thank you so much.
Thomas, thank you. When everything is ready to open again, would you do me the
favor of video exploring cocktail bars?
Oh my god, we love that.
I love cocktail bars. I have done a video about the best speakeasy bars and the best rooftop bars, both of which do cocktails. I think most of them are still open. They haven't closed due to COVID. So check my playlist of, just look up hereby bar bars. That might work. You'll find quite a few videos I've done on that topic. I would do more cocktail bar videos though. I like them.
Yeah, we need to make videos of vegetarian. We need to investigate.
Is the beard going to return? What do you think, Trevor? You like the beard.
What?
Is the beard going to return?
Yes, it will.
It may make a triumphant return in the winter. Although, to be honest, I only grew the beard because we went to Las Vegas for a trip and I forgot my shaver and I just didn't shave, and that went on for over a year. When do you think the real estate market in New York will begin to restore? I think by next summer, at least if we're talking about rentals, I think by next summer, we're going to see rental prices go back up. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near where it was, but I don't think it's going to go any lower. I think we're going to see stabilization by next spring or summer. Prediction, but I don't work in the real estate business. It's just my own theory of when people will see New York again as a more interesting location as far as like the lifestyle of living in New York and moving to Manhattan and being young and single and wanting to party, because a lot of those people left. And that's why rents in the East Village, Lower East Side, Greenwich Village have all plummeted, because a huge percentage of people that saw those areas as very appealing and worth $3,000 a month are gone.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave you. It was really nice to chat with you. I'm gonna go work on some new art stuff, illustrations.
Her link is below. I'm gonna stay for another like 5 or 10 minutes, but her link is down below if you want to check out any of her art. 20% off still, right?
50% now. It was
15% off.
Yeah.
Okay.
So go check it out. And Matthew, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tasker.
Sí, gracias. And if I don't see you again, have a great holidays and stay safe. And thank you for everything.
I'm gonna stay a little bit long because you guys are asking such good questions.
Yeah, bye guys.
Muchas gracias.
Take care.
Para tu tiempo. Por tu tiempo. Por para. Por para. I have a lot of problems.
You speak Spanish. Make him speak Spanish.
I speak a little Spanish. Just a little bit. We'll go a few more minutes. Any video suggestions, guys? Actually, now is your chance. I'm right here. Any video topics you want to see in the next few months? I am curious. Like, tell me what videos you want to see. Anything. Can you do a video exploring Central Park? I did a video about Central Park about a year or two ago. It got tons of views. Definitely check it out. I believe it's actually one of the first search functions on YouTube right now. If you look up Central Park on YouTube, you'll probably see my video. Definitely check that out. Jollibee update from Jcation. They're opening up a Jollibee in East Rutherford, New Jersey, I believe. So you got to fly in for that video. Fairlawn, Richard wants to see my hometown. I do want to film in my hometown and show you guys the best bagels in the world. And I still stand by this statement. You guys can hate me. North Jersey has the best bagels in the world. And I'm going to stand by that statement until proven wrong. Prospect Park, got a couple of people, including ActionKid, mentioning Prospect Park. You know, I want to do a Prospect Park guide. The only question for me now is it going to be a little bit too ugly with like the leaves dying? I may have to wait till spring to do a Prospect Park guide. Holiday food spots. I'm not doing a holiday food video this year. I did one, I think, a year ago. I'm going to do a bunch of holiday videos, though. 100%, I'm doing a bunch of holiday videos coming up, so you're going to be seeing them as soon as this week. It's funny, Adriana leaves and we just get tons of comments. What else? Tips for people that want to move from other countries. I do a lot of tips videos in general about New York from other countries. I don't know how qualified I am to talk about visas and stuff, but I think a lot of the advice I've given on apartment searching would be relevant to anybody. Do a video about Clinton Hill. I need to do Clinton Hill. Tango PR. Que pasa, Christian? Gotta check out Tango PR. You guys like Puerto Rico. That's my boy Christian down there. He's got a great channel. It's gonna blow up if I travel to, was it the Isla de Encanta? What else? Coolest subway stations. You know, I actually wanted to do a video about the ugliest subway stations. I wanted to copy my friend Todd from the Traveling Clat. So I actually could do a coolest subway station video too. The truth is though, the subways right now, there's just not a lot of people out, and I don't want to be flashing my camera on the subways so much. So that's why I've been holding off on doing some subway content for that reason alone. It's just there's not a lot of people down there, so I'm kind of holding off, but I will do subway content for sure. What else? We have so many collab with Tom Delgado. I would love to collab with him. And I also saw Sarah Funk, they mentioned collabing with her. We did one video. She's actually 7 months pregnant. I don't know if she's going to be up for a video in the next few months, but I would love to do another video with her too. Clinton Hill has loads of new joints. I have a bunch of friends who live in Clinton Hill, so I've actually been walking around Clinton Hill. I've been very impressed with Clinton Hill. Bed-Stuy. Yep, I have a list of videos I want to do, and Brooklyn has tons of neighborhoods that deserve some attention. Someone said vegan places. Yeah, I'd like to do vegan. I would definitely Even though I'm not vegan or vegetarian, I put maybe too much meat in my videos, but still I would. Someone says my friend and I are going to Diker Heights. You know, I have said that I think Diker Heights is one of the most over touristy trap places in New York for the holidays. But that being said, this year it might be better because you're not going to have the huge tour buses coming. We went there once and it was so crowded that I didn't enjoy myself. I actually didn't like Diker Heights. I love what they do there, but there was just too many people. So for me, any attraction that gets so congested you can hardly move. I included Diker Heights in my Christmas video from a year or two ago if you want to see. But my only advice would be normally don't go when it's super crowded. But I think this year you'll be fine. They literally need police over there, like conducting traffic. It's insane. Video on neighborhoods where famous rappers grew up. You know, I was gonna do a video about rappers and the hip hop history. I had a hip hop artist who wanted to do this video with me, and it fell by the wayside due to COVID. We were gonna film it in March. I may have to reach out to this guy again. So, famous filming sites for TV shows and films. Yeah, I've thought about doing a video like that. That would be really cool. I would definitely do that. My dad's here. What's up? What's up, Dad? Watching from Oceanside, where the sun is always on the California Republic. Someone said they're watching from Vienna. Favorite YouTube video you made? That's a great question. You want to actually know my favorite YouTube video, which nobody watched? Like, I don't know about videos that have done well. My favorite video that got the least amount of attention was my friend had a bachelor party in New Orleans, and we did this whole thing where we hired a second line band, and if anyone has never been to New Orleans before, they'll close down streets, okay? And you can get a street, like they hire the police, you get a police escort and a 6-piece band, and you lead this band down Bourbon Street or down one of the streets, and random people jump in and join. So we did this whole secret second line parade, surprised my friend, he had no idea it was coming, and he was the leader of his own parade. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. People on YouTube didn't agree, I guess. So if you want to see my favorite video, one of them, because it just involved my friend, he almost cried. He was so happy. Shout out to Noller if he's watching. Yeah, so look up New Orleans Hereby Barr. That was one of my favorite videos ever. One of my other favorite videos ever was in Puerto Rico. This video did very well. And if Christian's watching, you're one of the big reasons that video was cool. We just explored the western part of Puerto Rico, and that video took 3 days to film. It took me like 2 days to edit. We used 5 different cameras, and it came out so cool. So that's probably also one of my all-time favorites. What else? Got a couple more minutes here, and then I don't know. This is probably the last live chat of 2020, at least for like the general public. If anyone's curious, I did make this announcement before. We've got 5 cards left. Anybody that joins our Patreon, the next 5 people, I'm going to send you one of Adriana's postcards for free. Anywhere in the world, no questions asked. So this offer will expire shortly. If you want to join our Patreon, we do 1 live chat a month. A lot of cool stuff. Ooh, someone says top 10 food places from foreign countries. My goodness, that would be a tough video. That would be such a hard video to make for me. Like best ethnic food in New York. Oh my goodness, that'd be hard. Will Adriana be in more videos? Yes, actually, we're filming some holiday videos shortly, and she is going to be in a lot of them. So she'll be coming up in some videos soon. She honestly has been very busy with her own YouTube channel and doing her own artwork. So that's why she's not in so many videos. She's really busy with that stuff, but she comes in every now and then. What else? Somebody asked a question about YouTube. I missed it. Let me see. Advice for new YouTuber in New York City. I look up to you a lot. My advice for a new YouTuber in New York City would be just to make a lot of content and not care so much about the quality. I just think put a lot of things out there, and you'll find your audience sooner or later. That's my best advice for you, is just like, you know, don't do what I used to do. I used to publish once a week when I started. In hindsight, I think you get a lot better by doing more videos. The more videos you shoot, the more videos you edit, you'll find your style, you'll find your voice. That's my advice. One thing you regret not doing when living in Manhattan. I don't think there's anything I regret not doing when I lived in Manhattan. I did everything. I don't think there's anything I didn't do living in Manhattan that I didn't want to do. And I'm only 20 minutes from Manhattan, so like I did everything. Threw a big party, you name it, I did it. Please do a live stream before New Year's Eve. I think this is probably the last live stream of 2020, not on Patreon. I'm doing a Patreon live stream at some point this month, though, for December. Matt Tasker said, it's not what you shoot, it's how you shoot it. That's good advice. You ever gone to the subway station where Michael Jackson filmed the song Bad? I did go to that subway station. I did a video called New York City Subway Secrets. So check that video out. We did talk about that. Someone asked, what is Patreon? Patreon is like a members club where you support the channel with like a monthly subscription, and I give you bonus perks. Like the basic perks are you get to see the videos first. We do one bonus video a month, one live stream a month. You have access to me if you want to ask questions. Stuff like that, link below if you want to check it out. How much does Patreon cost? You actually can pay whatever you want, but we have tiers. The tiers start at $5. Is Patreon expensive? I mean, for some people, yeah, it could be expensive. It depends if you have the money for it. If you don't have the money for it, spend the money on something else. Believe me, I shouldn't be your top priority in spending your money. If you want to support what we do, feel free. But if you have money issues, spend your money on other things. Actually, that's one of the cool things about our Patreon. I'm not going to sit here and just do a commercial for Patreon, but the money that I get, I put it right back into the businesses. That's the truth. Like most of the videos you see where we're eating out at a restaurant, a lot of times I don't tell them we're coming. We just shoot. You know, like the Chinatown video, we went to 8 different spots. None of them knew we were filming. Everything, you know, I paid for my food, for ActionKid's food, for my camera guy's food. All went to the business. All that money from me came from the Patreon. So yes. Okay, we have a lot of people asking questions. NYC's most haunted places. That video would be better during Halloween, I think. I would love to do a haunted New York video. That's a good idea for next year. Is YouTube a good stream of income? No, it is not a good stream of income. Anyone who joins YouTube just for the money, I'm telling you, it's a bad idea. Like for me to actually make any income without getting into specifics, I don't think I even got my first check from YouTube until almost 2 years of doing it consistently. Like most people get into YouTube for the money. That's the wrong reason. Like you get into it because you want to be passionate about it, but unless you're willing to put the work in, is not something I recommend doing just for the money. You have to really have a passion for video creation. What else? Remember when you went to that pizza place and told you off for choosing the wrong pizza rather than you filming? What video was that, Matt? I don't even remember. Someone asked, content creating your only job? At the moment, content creation is actually my only job. And like everything around the creation, like Patreon and selling merchandise, is actually my only income right now. Oh, in Williamsburg. Yes, are you talking about Lindustry Pizza? When I showed one slice, it was the Williamsburg guy, and the guy said, no, no, no. You need to get our famous pizza with the basil on top. Yes, that's Lindustry Pizza in Williamsburg. Amazing. All right. Any other questions, guys? I know a bunch of people probably just popped in, but I think this is like about as long as I was planning on going. I actually went longer than I thought. And actually, Greg, thank you for the Lindustry idea. Greg from Food and Footprints has by far been my biggest guide to New York for food videos. They want to charge people to see that horrible tree in Rockefeller Center. I don't believe they're charging people. I don't know. Where did you see that they were charging people? I just see that they want you to wait in line for it. But honestly, from a health perspective, the Rockefeller Center tree is like the #1 attraction in the winter. I don't think it's stupid of them to try to have people spacing out and having timed entry. I don't think they're charging. I saw that it was free. I love how you and other YouTubers do videos together. Thank you. Yes, that is something like me and a couple of other YouTubers like Cash Jordan, ActionKid, we try to do videos at least like once a month. It's fun. A lot of our audiences like overlap, so. Any tips on anyone moving to New York? Oh, God. I would say visit New York first. Maybe even try to come here for a couple of weeks. See if it's for you rather than just diving in head first. Because New York, it could be too much for you, depending. You know, if you come to New York for 1 week and have an amazing trip, it doesn't mean you're going to enjoy living here. And it doesn't mean that you want to live in Manhattan. I would say come to New York for a month and really explore everything, not just Manhattan, but see Brooklyn and Queens too. We just got a £5 super chat from Ted. Thank you, Ted. And he just said, thank you for doing the fascinating videos. Best wishes for both you and Adriana. See, I struggle enough to do these live streams, and I'm home. I always give a lot of credit to all the the Action Kids and the Urbanists and all the New York City IRL live streamers. Yeah, I don't know how they do it. This is even hard for me. What else do we got? Shameless plug. I shot a video with John back in February showing his video production. Yes, Matthew Tasker did shoot a video with me. So if you want to see that video, check out Matthew Tasker's channel. He was behind the scenes with me. Best site to find a job for a college grad. Josh, I have no idea. I am so not qualified to talk about job hunting. Being that YouTube isn't really like the traditional, career path. I will say that. I would love to do a video about like YouTube as a money-making thing, but I don't know how that would do on the channel because I have so much to say on this topic because I've had this YouTube channel for 4.5 years and I've seen a lot of changes and YouTube is not for the faint at heart. Do you take CBD oil for sleep? I do not take CBD oil for sleep. I have tried CBD before. I'm not really a huge fan of it. I don't think it really works so much for me. I've taken melatonin before. Any plans of visiting Toronto? I've been to Toronto a few times. It reminds me of New York in some ways. I'd love to go back, sure. I don't have any immediate plans, but I would go back. Favorite rapper, Tupac. Like him a lot. I also like Nate Dogg. What's happening? Big Barr, love from Edinburgh. Thank you, El Green Music. Someone says you should do more videos with Cash Jordan. Yeah, I don't know if we're doing any more videos this year, but when I come after 2020, early next year, we'll definitely do some more. My dad asked, any choice to eat balut in Manila Mesa? You got to ask Mr. J from Jaycation that question. I know nothing about the Filipino food scene there. If you're asking, will I eat balut again? The answer is probably no. If you ask me what's the most disgusting food I've ever eaten in my entire life, the answer would be balut, which is Filipino duck embryo. I actually like, for the record, a lot of Filipino cuisine, and there's some great Filipino spots in Little Manila and Queens, but balut was beyond disgusting. Ugh, I found it horrible. Hunter, thank you for the $5 super chat. You said you've helped my girlfriend and I gain enough confidence to move to New York next week. Do you have any tips for starting a New York-based YouTube channel? I would say my best advice in doing a New York YouTube channel is just like show, since you're new here, I would probably show people this process because you have a perspective that other people don't have right now. I can't give you the perspective of I just moved to New York. I can give you the perspective of I just moved to Brooklyn from Manhattan, but I would show people like this is my apartment, this is the first things I'm doing, this is where I moved from. I think a lot of people would actually get behind that and then branch out from there. That would be my best advice. How do you celebrate Christmas? With Adriana. I celebrate with her, whatever she wants to do. Oh, what else? Vegard, what's going on? Hope you're doing well in Norway. Appreciate you checking in, buddy. What else? 221 people. Got almost $91 in super chat. Thank you guys for the super chat. You did not have to donate during this live stream, but much appreciated. Really, really nice of you. We've been going 83 minutes, and it feels like we just started. I love these live chats. They're fun. I should do these more often, honestly. I'm sorry that I don't do these often enough. I'll try to do more next year, but as I said, this is probably the last one I'm doing for 2020. What is your favorite food? I like so many different types of foods. Like, I don't have an answer for that. I'd probably say like favorite foods would be pizza, tacos, Indian food. I love Indian food in general. Wow. You know what I really like lately? Going to Jackson Heights, Queens to get the Fushka, which is vegetarian for those watching the Fushka truck. Unbelievable. So I like too many foods to have one favorite. But like ultimately, I would say Something with meat. It has to have meat in it to be my favorite. Like birria tacos would stand out to me. Good steak. I like too many foods to have just one favorite. Wow, a lot of comments. Vegard says, I'm hanging in, miss travel. We all miss travel. I really miss travel. That is one of the benefits of being, I'm not saying I'm stuck in New York. I could leave, I could travel if I had to. Excuse me. One of the benefits is there's so many neighborhoods here that feel like you're traveling. Like doing a whole video series in Brighton Beach. That felt like travel. Honestly, that felt like traveling. There's more Russian letters and more people speaking Russian than English. Same thing going to Chinatowns. Same thing going to Sunset Park. Like New York City is its own world. I think, who said that? Someone I follow said that. Like, New York City should be its own country. It really should. New York City could be like Hong Kong. Honestly, New York City could be separated from the rest of the United States. Completely different experience. It's insane. We'll do a few more minutes because you guys just keep asking some amazing questions. I was stupid. I forgot to get water. I actually finished this coffee. Like, my throat is so dry right now, but I'm going to keep going on. Someone said, hello from Bensonhurst. What's up? Someone said, I appreciate your work. Thank you for the compliment. B25 Miggy, Toronto is like the New York City of Canada. Yes, it is, for sure. Montreal is like the Europe of Canada. You ever try to chop cheese? I have not tried to chop cheese. I will at some point, though. Do you miss Manhattan? I do miss Manhattan. I would be lying if I didn't tell you that I miss Manhattan. I'm used to Manhattan. I miss a lot of things about Manhattan. I miss the energy, but I'm not moving back, and I think I'm just an adjustment period for me. It's kind of cool going to sleep at night and not hearing noise from the street and not it not being a weekend. And I lived close to Bleecker Street in the Village, not hearing people screaming or sirens. Here it's like so quiet at night. It feels like I'm back in the suburbs in Jersey. Whew. Any other questions? About to wrap up this live stream. Again, I appreciate everybody who tuned in. A couple quick announcements again. If you want to check out Adriana's art, I put a link in the description. If you want to check out our Patreon, the next 5 people that join are getting one of these postcards anywhere in the world. 5 more left. And yes, I appreciate all the super chats and everything else. I have time for like 1 or 2 more questions. So if you want to ask anything else, do it right now before I go drink some water and like just decompress from this live chat. Because this was a lot of fun, guys. And I do appreciate you guys watching all the videos. For anyone who hasn't subscribed yet, by the way, I know there's a lot of people that watch that aren't subscribed. Like, please do so. Actually, I haven't really asked people to subscribe, but if you're not subscribed and you watch a lot of the videos, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button. This really helps with the algorithm. Just got a few more super chats. Wow, before I ended, that was really nice of you. Crystal, thank you for the $9.99. Hope your YouTube channel is kicking butt. I know your TikTok's doing really well. Adriana was watching you the other day. Ed F gave me $4.99. Thank you for hanging so late with us. Hey, no problem. You guys have made this very easy. I also want to thank all the moderators. I don't know if they're even still here. Matt, Richard, Allen for holding down the fort. If you guys have been here for almost an hour and a half. All right. My friend Knickers loves your video. Can you say his name? Shout out to Knickers. Thank you for supporting the channel. Greetings from Buenos Aires. Que copado. Che, baluro. I know Buenos Aires very well. I spent some time there. What's your family background? My parents are from Ukraine, Eastern European. Jewish is my background. I could say Russian, Ukrainian. That's not really my bloodline. I don't have blonde hair, though I do speak some Russian. Can you say hi to my friend? He's a big fan. His name is Nathan. What's up, Nathan? One city you'd move to if you had to leave New York? I don't have an answer to that question. No, I do. I do have an answer to that question. Mexico City. That is the city I'd probably move to if I didn't live in New York, because I love Mexico City. And it's very international. It gives me some of those vibes that New York gives. And it's affordable compared to New York City. That's where my twin brother is right now. I love Mexico City a lot. Anything else? You ever been to the Nintendo store? I have not been to the Nintendo store. I should check it out. What is your favorite type of dumpling? Fried dumplings, I would say. Has some great fried dumplings. I forgot the name of the spot in Brooklyn's Chinatown, Sunset Park. They were unreal. You ever visited Nottingham? I've not visited Nottingham. Hi from Barcelona. Thank you for making lockdown less hard from ActionKid and Urbanist. Happy to assist you guys. $106 in super chat. Thank you guys for donating so much. Really was not necessary. Anything else? I'm gonna go another minute. So you guys have 1 minute to ask any other questions you want. Gonna be here's a heads up. I'm filming a lot this week. A lot of like Christmas and holiday content. So for the next week or two, you're gonna see tons of holiday videos. So it's gonna answer a lot of your questions about like what is New York City like during the holidays in 2020. We're gonna find out because I'm not even sure. So I'm gonna find out and I'm gonna let you know what the holiday experience is like here. Someone says the Julie said the Brooklyn Chinatown video was amazing. Thank you for appreciating those videos. I thought they came out really good. You do not speak Russian. Говорю немножко по-русски. Спасибо, как дела? There's my Russian. Is Spumoni Gardens overrated? I loved Spumoni Gardens, but I've had a lot of people say they didn't like it. I like sweet, sugary stuff. So if like the upside down Sicilian there, it's really sugary, sweet. Mary Jane, who was with me, the other YouTuber, she didn't like it as much. So depends what you like. Anybody else? Hello from Portugal. Love the holiday videos. Okay. All right, guys. Muchas gracias. I can't wait to show you the content we have coming up for the rest of this month. We got holiday stuff, and I've got a couple of food tours, which I think you guys are going to love. So we're going to end this year on a really strong note. Again, thank you so much for all of your support, watching the videos, hitting the like button, all that good stuff, guys. Thank you for joining me for an hour and a half. Best audience on YouTube, members of the Barrio. And if I don't get a chance to tell you directly, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, anything I missed, thank you so much, guys. I'll be talking to you soon.